What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Throwing Tantrums. This segment is Behind the Tantrums. So essentially, I'm giving you guys updates of what's happening with the company. I'm wearing a headset, and I don't need to. But essentially, I'm giving you guys updates on what's happening with the company, what in terms of rehearsals, upcoming events, and things we're working on. So this past weekend was a pretty big weekend. I consider we call it a back-to-back-to-back weekend of because it was performances and then filming. Friday and Saturday, we performed at an event called Mix Match Dance Festival, sold out show. We haven't had the chance to really hit the stage in a while, so I figured it was a great opportunity for us to experience that because we've been very busy just prepping and practicing for a lot of the filming for Universal Rhythm Revisited. And if it's your first time watching this or listening to this, Universal Rhythm Revisited is just a retelling of our sold out show last year into a film. So we're converting a stage show into a couple of short films. So the overall experience of Mix Match, I think, was fun. It was great. It was a great bonding experience to do a show, hitting the stage, but it's also the mundane moments that I personally kind of enjoy, like tech rehearsal, practicing outside for a little bit, just chatting and hanging out, like during some downtime, going to lunch. I think that's like aside from the highs of performing, those moments where it's not like super glorious or it's not like super wow, and it's really just the mundane. I think those are the moments that really built a lot of the bonds and just really catered the team's chemistry, the friendships. But I think what made this experience a little bit more memorable was that there was a few shit talkers from the other acts, which I don't think I've ever experienced. I personally didn't catch it, but I did hear it from other members who kind of said the same thing, who essentially like they corroborated, like they heard the same thing from, I guess, certain people. We never found out who exactly it was, but it was, if I remember correctly, it was as we walked into the first house meeting for the show, and as also when we were leaving. Some of the things that they said, like why are there gangsters here, or like I didn't know we were in the ghetto, and such inappropriate comments for a show, especially in kind of a diverse medium such as dance. If you've ever been to an event like Body Rock, B-Boy Summit, Freestyle Sessions, Vibe, or Hip Hop International, like those events are very welcoming, very supportive, unless you're like a very insane, high, crazy competitor, you know. But even though with that, most people are pretty open and supportive to their other competitors, their other performers as well. But the difference with this is Mix Match was a dance festival, so it wasn't just specifically focusing on hip hop. Though again, it was a great event overall. We performed last year and we performed this year. Dance festivals are insanely different from, say, a hip hop international or freestyle sessions, because these feature a little bit more artistic pieces and artistic performances in dance. So it's not just hip hop choreo; it's contemporary, it's jazz, it's folklorico, it's one act that we saw was very interpretive. So coming from those events and then going to here, it's kind of a different type of event, but also hearing that kind of hurt, and it did upset me, but it personally got me amped and it got me a little bit more motivated. Same with the team to give a really, really good show. Brandon, our artistic director, said, "If they go low, we go high." So we, as much as we want to retaliate, I say like the best revenge is just success. So as a result, I gave it our all on both days. We got great, probably the best crowd reactions on for this event, because typically in my experience in dance festivals, they're a little bit more quiet in terms of a crowd because they're more engaged in watching and also in just observing the dance and start. Whereas if you've ever been to any sort of the events I mentioned before, they're more vocal. They will yell when they want, and they'll cheer. They'll do like supportive comments, but events like this are usually quiet and they wait until the end to clap. When both of which, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just two different types of audiences and just two different ways in how they show appreciation. So overall, it was still fun and hyped. It was just great to share the stage and just have that that kind of like, even though it was kind of a quote unquote negative experience, it was kind of a unifying experience. Like, yeah, after Friday and Saturday, We had an early call time Sunday morning to continue filming for Universal Rhythm Revisited. It was at a multi-set room. As I said, we had an early call time, so my worry was about energy, not just for myself, but because I went to sleep like at 2 in the morning on Saturday night because I was still arguing with people on Twitter. But I was worried about the other members as well, just because it was such a very, I'd say, stimulating Friday and Saturday of just having to be on, performing for an audience, being ready to go. Like, just show days are very stimulating in itself, and doing a back to back to back without rest can get a little bit much. So I was worried about people's energy if they had any left in the tank for a 6 hour shoot. But we pulled through. It was cool seeing everyone just be creative. It was even cooler seeing what we planned and prepared for come to life. The dancing was fantastic. The team was fantastic. And the shots were fantastic. And depending on the day, if different dances were needed and other dancers had a little downtime, the dancers were essentially free to do whatever they want. Or if they weren't needed for the rest of the day, they had the option to go home. A lot of them stayed so they can take advantage of the set. They took photos. They created additional social media content. I think it was just a great experience overall. So I'm pretty amped to see how this final edit comes together, because as we were filming all this, I'm like watching the previs that I have in my head, and then I'm watching it happen in real time. I'm like, oh, the before and after videos are gonna look dope. The final edit is gonna look dope. Those of you in the creative space know the satisfying feeling of creating something out of nothing, because all of our art is essentially an idea, and it's so nebulous. But then we make it into reality, and I think that's what makes artists, or just being human, kind of magical, because we envision something, and those who have the ability to, or who want to, or who have the resources to, or the fortitude to, we make it happen. All right, so lesson of the week. I guess I kind of was trying to figure out a decent lesson, but if the one that's really standing out to me is like, if you want to get good at something, repetition is the mother of mastery. Whether it's a new job or skill, or you just want to get good at being the best sales guy, marketer, dancer, it's not just the repetitions. If you're trying to get to someone's level 20, it's going to be 4 times work, 5 times work, because the person who's already in level 20 has already mastered the basics, and they're already efficient. Their 1 rep is you doing 5 to 10 just to catch up. And then it's another 5 to 10 to do better. I think that's where it's can be boring for so much people, because it is boring. It is tedious. It is hard, but it's necessary if you're aiming to be remotely good at your job. Yeah, that's it in terms of the lesson. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.